The Taíno people were the original inhabitants of Jamaica long before European contact. They were part of the wider Arawakan-speaking peoples who migrated through the Caribbean over centuries. Their ancestors came from northern South America, likely from regions around the Orinoco River basin in present-day Venezuela. Traveling by canoe, they moved island to island, gradually settling across the Greater Antilles, including Jamaica, which they called Xaymaca, meaning land of wood and water. The journey to Jamaica was not a single event, but part of a long process of exploration and migration. Using large dugout canoes carved from tree trunks, the Taíno navigated open waters with knowledge of currents, stars, and winds. These skills allowed them to travel safely between islands and establish new communities. In Jamaica, the Taíno lived in organized villages led by a chief known as a cacique. Their homes, called bohíos, were circular structures made from wooden poles and thatched roofs. At the center of the village was often a larger rectangular building for the cacique and communal gatherings. Society was structured but cooperative, with clear roles for leadership, religion, and daily labor. Their way of life was deeply connected to the land and sea. The Taíno were skilled farmers who practiced a form of agriculture known as canuco farming. They grew crops such as cassava, maize, sweet potatoes, and peppers. Cassava was especially important and was processed into bread using specialized techniques to remove its natural toxins. Fishing and hunting were also essential. They used nets, hooks, and traps to catch fish and hunted small animals like hudias. Canoes allowed them to fish offshore and travel along the coast. They were also skilled craftsmen, creating pottery, tools, and ornaments from stone, bone, and shell. Gold, though not used as currency, was crafted into decorative items. The Taíno had a rich spiritual life centered on the worship of spirits called zemis. These spirits were believed to inhabit natural elements and carved objects. Ceremonies, music, and dance played a major role in their culture, often guided by spiritual leaders. Their society was generally peaceful, with strong emphasis on community and cooperation. They lived sustainably, taking what they needed from the environment without exhausting it. Everything changed with the arrival of Europeans in 1494. The island was claimed for Spain, and the Taíno were forced into a system of labor known as encomienda. They were made to work in harsh conditions, mining for gold and serving colonists. At the same time, diseases such as smallpox, brought by Europeans, spread rapidly among the population, to which the Taíno had no immunity. Within a few decades, the population declined drastically due to disease, forced labor, and violence. By the early 1500s, the Taíno of Jamaica had been largely wiped out as a distinct population. Some survivors mixed with African and European populations, and elements of their culture lived on in language, food, and place names.